Okay, hi everybody. Welcome to episode 7 of ASN's Pull Up a Chair. Today am solo because it's an odd number episode, episode 7. And today I want to talk a little bit about some things that have been going on in the chat rooms, I guess best way to put them, in Facebook and Discord and other places. And it's a recurring theme that's been happening over the last year or so, maybe even longer, but really starting to um, crank up, and people are starting to become divided and starting to have more deeper feelings toward this subject. And um, and it's not new actually to our hobby at all. It's the old time thing of tools of the tools that are out there or potentially out there, and whether or not they should be accepted or not accepted. And if they're accepted, what does that mean? Does it mean you're cheating? Does it mean you're cutting corners? Does it mean does it take away from the integrity of the role? Does it, there's all these things that, all of us have been doing this. Not all of us, many of us have been doing this since we were children. And, there are many of us who are very, I don't want to use closed-minded, but, are not open to technology, and want to just roll the dice and play the game and write it on paper, and they're happy as can be. And I don't think that there's one grounded, I'm looking for a really good word here, grounded person who would disagree with that person, because that's what works for that person. Where I lose my patience or become frustrated is when that person decides to take up arms against technology, against addition. And why do we do that? Why do we do that in life? Why do people fear things, and uneducatedly oppose things? And it's one word: fear. The fear that what they love will change. They're not trying to see if whatever's out there might make it better, might be a better way to do it. Just try it. You don't like it, you don't use it, or don't try it. But don't ream the people who are. And again, that's why I feel like people are crossing the line. When let me say this, to be very clear, the lines that I'm drawing. It's my life. It's what I do. AI is what I do. And if you call that unethical, you're calling me unethical. If you call that cheating, you're calling me a cheater. That's what I do for a living. And so if I get over passionate about it, it would be the same as whatever your job is. I don't care what it is. If you're a UPS driver and you get very offended by people complaining that UPS sucks and can't make it to my house on time with my payoff pitch delivery, and you can't be shocked if somebody in that chat works for UPS and gets very upset at you. You shouldn't be shocked, and you probably deserve what's coming at you from that person. That's his livelihood. That's what he does. UPS doesn't suck. It's how he feeds his children. And so people have to watch. I'm not saying we shouldn't have a closed space where we can't talk about things, but you have to watch what you say. And then don't give me the, ooh, ho, I'm surprised you're offended crap when you go after somebody's livelihood. So I told myself to take a much deep breath as I could before this show, so that I didn't come across overly passionate about this. But if I do throughout the process, that is why. So let me just kind of start off by just saying, today's episode is not about convincing anyone. I'm not here to change your mind. I'm not here to win some sort of argument, and I'm not here to chase any kind of views. I'm not here for clicks. I'm not here for members. At the same point, if for some reason you're not going to agree with my take on this, that's fine. I think you will find yourself on the wrong side of the hobby's history, but that's my opinion. I may be wrong. I just want to document how I feel at this date on January 30th, 2026. I felt this way for a long time, but it's finally at least going to get documented. In 5 to 10 years, let's go back and watch this video. And those of you that mocked AI, thought it was unethical, thought it was a joke, thought it was unstable, unreliable. Let's see where we're at in 5 years together. See if you were closer to the truth or I was closer to the truth. That's why I'm doing this video. And this isn't about, I know this is about artificial intelligence and its place in the hobby, but honestly, it's not about artificial intelligence. It's really about how we react in the hobby when tools challenge the identity of this hobby. We have all seen this before, right? Every hobby, especially any niche hobby like we have, builds a culture around effort, right? I mean, this isn't what we do, takes time and effort. Time spent learning rules. We have time spent mastering systems. We have time spent earning credibility. That effort, it should matter. It does matter. But every so often, a tool will show up that reduces friction. And when friction disappears, something else is exposed. All right, so in this hobby, we have already lived through this cycle, right? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, hopefully you will. Again, if you're new to the hobby over the last year or so, you're not going to understand this. You might understand it, but you're not going to appreciate it. Whereas those who've been around, like I have, all the way back to the days in grandmother's basements and your best friend's basement, you will understand and appreciate. Okay, I kind of lost my computer rebooted in the middle. It looks like it's picking up, so I'm hoping this will kind of just continue um, where we're at. So because it looks like it's 12 minutes into the video, so I'm guessing somehow it just picked back up again. Gotta love technology, right? When it works, we love it. When it doesn't, we like to complain. Me included. Okay, so where I was at was talking about that the kind of the historical pattern of our hobby, which has gone from, everything from handwritten score sheets to all the way to everything being digital. And that there are some people who still love to do handwritten sheets. Nothing wrong with that at all. It's what they love. And some people like to have more of an electronic record. They like to keep things in Excel or in a text file or lots of people, including myself, love to use Digital Diamond. There was a fantastic iScore that's out there for all this different sports. There is, what was it called? It's going away from me, but something score. Oh man, I can't think of the name of it. Anyway, I used to use that religiously for quite a while. Nobody in the beginning of all that, people had issues. People had, you know, uh, more quiet, maybe not so quiet, but had issues with using stuff like that. Oh, it's supposed to be done on pen and paper. Well, no, it's not. It's whatever makes you happy, whatever works for you. And then all of a sudden, the people started to come around because, oh, you don't spend 60 hours trying to calculate your season results and your leaders and everything manually. You've got a spreadsheet that does that within seconds. So you spend more time actually playing. Oh, now I see the benefit of an Excel spreadsheet or using an online tool. Oh, now I see. Yeah, well, sometimes you have to smack people in the head with a benefit to get them to understand progress. And that's a shame that it has to happen at times, but our history tells us we need that more often than not. And now here we are with AI. And we've got the same thing. We've got people making fun of it. We got people who don't understand how to use it. We've got people who like to mock it, who like to say it doesn't work, who like to say whatever they can. And 99% of it is uneducated, horrible, not horrible. I'm going to go with uneducated comments and just not knowing how to use it. And then some of it is fear. Um, you know, being like the whole. Let's put a nice little avenue down that we go down, and we talk about the grocery stores, and we talk about people going, oh, these registers that are self checkout. One, they replace people. Two, sorry, my cat's getting in the way. Two, they don't work and they charge me wrong, and that they're going to get rid of all the people who all those people who work those checkout lanes lost their jobs, blah blah blah, right? And of course, those are all uneducated thoughts. Those are all what your dad told you to say, or that's what some far off wing, right or left wing, political stances on that kind of stuff. And so, you either tend to fall into that category where you let people think for you, or you go out and find out that those Walmart and Target and different places where the self-checkout lanes were put into place, those registrars who were making $10 an hour and coming home every night with their wrists hurt because of scanning things, now are healthier because they're not doing that. And they're not bored out of their minds just rolling across another banana or orange across some screen, that they are now been offered up opportunities to work in tech. They're there to work on those things when they go wrong. They're there to help you when there's a problem. They got promoted into management. Nobody lost their freaking jobs. They all got better jobs. They all got high payer jobs. But you would have to do research to get those answers. You would have to be open-minded in order to accept the possibility that there could have been a good ending to that. Okay. Am I saying every single checkout clerk got a better job? Of course not. Am I saying many did? Yes, I am, because I know a lot of people who worked in those and got better jobs from it. That's life, people, that things happen. We want to get mad that AI is replacing things or replacing jobs, or our whole life has been spent on new technologies coming into play that make things better, faster, quicker, and cheaper. And that's what we do. And if you want to use AI as your latest target, that you're scared and you don't understand it and you want to make fun of it and you don't want to learn it, that's your choice. You do that. Are we going to be friends? We certainly are not, because it's my livelihood. It's what I do for a living. And if you're going to be closed-minded and you're not going to see that there is possibilities for this, then I'm not here to get your subscribe to my channel shit. I don't care about that. What I care about is people who are open-minded and can discuss. And look, I'm not sitting here saying if you have to like AI so that I'll like you. That's not what I'm saying. So let me back that wagon up for a second. What I'm saying is, if you're going to make fun of it without being educated, then I have a problem with you. And let's correlate that with exactly something that happened in our community just a few months ago. An individual posted his review on a multitude of games. And what was the backlash? The backlash wasn't his review. Okay? The backlash wasn't, I don't like APA. The backlash was that he had not even purchased half those games, that he did not really have an educated position on those games to be criticizing them. This is no different. No different. If you are not educated on AI and what AI can do and how it can help developers, how it can help the gamer, then you have an opinion I don't give a shit about. And others shouldn't either. You should just shut up, grab your paper and pencil, and go back to playing games. That's your choice. But to rag it, make fun of it, and sit there and say it doesn't work or it's unethical, God forbid, unethical, really gets me. You are just screaming, how do I say I don't know AI without saying I don't know AI? How do I say I'm scared of AI without saying I'm scared of AI? You are saying everything about yourself and nothing about AI. When you say, I ask for the best or good, or you use opinionated prompts to AI, and then you want to laugh at what it returns, it's about you, not about AI. So when I hear someone who makes statements, and I've seen this today, I will never buy something from someone who uses AI. I don't know if I should chuckle. I don't know if I should educate. I don't know if I should just virtually slap the person across the room, or I should just totally ignore it and walk away and think that is quite easily already in January the dumbest comment of the year. Because that's not a purchasing decision. That's a boundary that person has drawn. Okay. That's a statement, isn't about ethics. It isn't about creativity. And it isn't about protecting our hobby. It's about signaling who that person believes belongs and what they believe belongs in their area. And if they use a bank, they go to the grocery store, if they put their kids in school, public schools, any school, private too, if they do anything within their house nowadays, everything is AI. We've been using it for years. Give me a break. You're not going to purchase something from AI? Really? Your comment on Facebook is AI driven. I mean, the algorithms, everything else that's going on, that led you to that forum, that group, to even make that post, AI driven. So your comment is about as uneducated and as redonkulous as one can get. Okay, so why is CND especially sensitive? This game, these games, this hobby, it's built on a mastery. Systems, probabilities, edge cases, rules knowledge. Time spent learning those things becomes status, and rightfully so. But when a tool lowers the barrier to entry, it can feel like the effort was bypassed. And when effort feels bypassed, identity feels threatened. Think about all that for a second. You're just getting angry that someone had a quicker way to do what you did that took you longer. And instead of appreciating what is now available to you to make your next game quicker, or to make your experience in CND as a gamer better, you lash out. Oh, I'm not going to do that. That's stupid. That never works. That stuff doesn't work. It doesn't spell correctly. Oh, I asked it for something and it gave me this. Ha 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 ha. That's so funny. No, you're really showing your lack of intelligence when you say that stuff online. I'm throwing out warnings to people that in 5 years, people will go back and look at those quotes and those things you wrote and go, wow, that person wasn't really bright at all. Go back and look what you've posted 5 years ago about some type of technology. And if you were negative on it, you're probably looking at that going, why did I say that? Oh, cell phones are never work. They're going to give us all cancer. They'll get rid of them in a couple of years. Worthless things. Never need them. Now, no, people can't walk around without them. Can't walk around without them. They're our livelihoods. Said the same thing about computers. Oh, there'll be one in every home. Somebody said that. Everybody joked. Now people have 5. Televisions, same thing. Radios before that. We love to mock what we don't understand. That's part of our life. That's part of some people's culture. Mock what you don't understand. Don't make the effort to learn. The only thing that separates people who understand technology from the people who don't is effort. That's it. We're not smarter. We weren't born with anything better outside of an open mind. The ability to go try and get better every day. That's it. That's the only difference between us. Those of you who don't. Just throw away your old mentality. Embrace for once instead of pushing away. You guys, over and over again, I ask my guests on this show, where do we want the future of CND to go? And the answer I get the most so far, and in private conversations, is almost the same every single time. We need to bring in the younger generation. Mocking AI or mocking tools is not going to get you the younger generation. It's going to get them to walk away. Guess what they're all doing? They're all playing with toys. They're all on PS boxes, Xboxes, using AI. They're using AI at school. They're using AI in their daily lives. They're talking to Alexa. They're doing all those things. And you expect them to join a hobby of a bunch of old white men who like to mock what they consider part of their lives? You're not going to get them. The reaction is human, though. That's coming from people. We see it in our politics. We see it in our daily lives at work. But it's also dangerous, very dangerous, because it mistakes access for replacement. I swear, if I hear one more time that AI takes away jobs, I'm going to poke that person right in the eyes, because I'm done. I'm done with that. That is so 5 years ago. I thought we were past that stupid, old, I'm uneducated, backwoods mentality. Well past that. But no, we still have people saying stuff like that. This is not, it's a tool in the toolbox. I don't know who wrote that today. I wish I could give him credit, but I was reading through some stuff today, trying not to get upset, reading comments that people wrote. And someone wrote something to the effect of it being a tool in the toolbox. And if you're uneducated, I think the person had basically said, and I'm sorry, I'm paraphrasing everything that person said, but it really hit home. I really thought his analogies were great. You pick up a hammer out of there because you needed a wrench. It's not the hammer's fault. It's not the wrench's fault. You picked the wrong tool. And why? Because you're uneducated. I'm uneducated about cars. I'm not great at cars, right? I know enough to be dangerous about them, but I don't go around mocking them. I don't go around mocking the auto mechanic who knows 1,000 times things more about my car than I do. I appreciate him. I'm glad he's there. I'm glad he has the tools to fix my car and keep my car safe for my children, my grandchildren, anybody that's in there. I'm not here to mock it. Just because I don't understand half the things he's telling me is wrong with my car, I'm supposed to mock him? Or I'm supposed to mock what he does? No. He's just more educated about it. Now I can go back, write down all the stuff he said, go back and educate myself. The beauty of having the computer world and instant Google and AI and ChatGPT. My auto mechanic said X. What does all this mean? Unbelievably, ChatGPT give you a pretty good readout of what it is. But we expect pixie dust from ChatGPT and Copilot and other things. We want to be lazy and give it the smallest prompt we can possibly give it because we're lazy and we don't want to type. And expect that we will get a result that somebody who created over weeks a prompt that gave that person some incredible results and then not understand why that person got incredible results and I didn't with my 3-word question. That's where we're at with AI right now. That's the canyon in between the educated and the uneducated right now. There's nothing wrong with AI. AI is not taking over the world. AI is not doing anything except being an assistant to those who know how to use it, to help them with their repetitive tasks, to help allow them to be more creative in their free time. Because they're taking away, they're creating free time. They're creating time. You show me something that creates time. This creates time. If you don't understand that, let me break that down for you. Let's talk about our developers. Okay? What do you think the developers do when they develop something? They're working on data. They're not just working on the creativity of the game. Okay? That is part of it. Yes. But they have What do you want from that game? All of you want seasons, right? Or you want fictional seasons. You want all these things you want from them. That takes data. That takes a lot of different work behind the scenes for them to complete that, right? Well, they could sit there and work on that. Okay. They could sit there and do all that number games. They can sit there and proofread their charts. They can sit there and cross check their result tables. They can sit there and verify probabilities. They can sit there and catch the edge cases that only show up after hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of rolls. You can do all that manually. And then you can get your game 5 years later. Or they can take AI and properly query it with a good prompt and some education and get all that done while it's creating time. It's taking all that time away and it's saying, I got this. You go be creative. You go improve your supply line. You go and improve the design on that card. You go take a second look at all that stuff. You go make sure there aren't huge issues with your thought process on what you developed. That's what AI can do for our developers. And if you don't want to buy a game that AI used development on, then don't bitch when it takes 5 years for you to get it. Don't bitch when it takes 3 months to get it. While the AI developers are kicking out games weeks after the season is over. The data's all there. Created by AI, by the way. Yep. Don't like that, but it is. Baseball reference, football reference, basketball reference, hockey reference, soccer reference. Where do you think all that data comes from? And if you don't think every single developer is using those numbers, including our old pals, APA and Status Pro, which is not old anymore. This is a new guy doing it all. You don't think they're using AI-driven site stats, then I don't know what bridge I'm building for you, but it's one to wherever, Happyville. They all are. They have to. That's the, you know, there's notes out there about how AI is horrible with stats. Well, it's not what it was made for. Okay. It's not made to create your game. It's not made to run out and be baseball reference, basketball reference. Can you do that with AI? Sure. With a big enough model that I could set and play with for months and prompt it correctly, I could probably get the data out right. But why? Why would you do that when you've already got all these sites for us from a sporting perspective that has the data? No, I don't need that. Our developers shouldn't need that. What they need is it to do all those other things I talked about. None of those are the idea of the game. They're not the creativity of the game. It's the execution of the game. That's what AI is helping with on the developer side. When a developer uses AI to help with those tasks, they're buying back time to do other things. Let me give you an example of my career world, what I do. Again, I said this was my passion. I do automated testing. Now, boy, the initial bounce back of this concept years ago in the healthcare industry was that AI was going to replace analysts, the software analysts who work on on the software for an EMR, electronic medical record. This was years ago, 10 years ago, by the way, probably 15, 20 even. Okay. Boy, is this an easy parallel to life right now, or in our hobby right now, what we're facing 20 years later. They were all worried about that. Oh, I'm going to lose my job. You're going to come in and do automated testing, and it's going to run what I do is a manual script that takes me a day to do. You're going to run it in 10 minutes with this automation, and I'm going to lose my job. Yeah, that was the worry. That was the statement put out to everybody. All the uneducated people believed it. All the uneducated people didn't do any research. And then they were on the wrong side of healthcare history, because what it did for them is those people were hired for their creativity, for their brains, not for their testing skills. They were hired to make that electronic medical record better. They were hired to look at what enhancements were coming down the road, which fixes were coming down the road with the software. Figure that out. Figure out which is the best ones, which ones were appropriate for that hospital or hospitals, depending on what they were working on. And then after all that was done, there's all this build work that has to be done to make that happen. They need to do that. And when they're done with all that, then they have to go test. And they all hated it. The worst part of their job, guarantee 99.9% on a survey would have said they hate most about their job, testing. But the second somebody was going to come in with an automated tool, take that away from them, enhance, giving them back that time that was taking up 20% of their week, and say, hey, you don't have to do this anymore. Their immediate reaction was, I'm getting fired. I'm being replaced. I'm losing my job. No, you're not. Now, that chief information officer is getting 40 hours worth of work out of that analyst for what they were hired to do. Be creative. Look at those enhancements longer, with more detail. Figure out those fixes. Spend more time with the clinicians and the doctors and the financial people. Figure out what they need. You got time now. I just bought it back for you. Let the automation run. And of course, they didn't believe it, of course. That was the first thing. Even when it ran, even when we showed them screen prints, even when they could go in to the system and see the patient was discharged correctly, billed correctly, claims look good. Still don't want to believe. Did not want to believe their eyes. No way could a software do what they did. Sorry, it did. Still does today. And instead of saying, woohoo, which some did, I hate testing. Oh, now I get to go just be an analyst? Instead of saying thank you, and I'll pull out my wonderful, I'm not going to do an impression of Jack Nicholson, I promise. But instead of just saying thank you, they chose to challenge the way in which I gave them their test results. It's unbelievable. It was unbelievable in the beginning, and it just proves our society today, and anything we do, you're going to have people. No matter, I've used this for years. You can take the horse to the water. You can show it the water. You can shove its head into the water, but you can't make it drink. And we have people who are in each stages of those. They don't believe the water's there. Then they see the water. Then they're not sure they can drink it. And then there are some people, even with their head in it, don't take a drink. That's just the way I've decided life is. And there's just no fixing all that. It's absolutely amazing what I read today. Depressing, sad, angry. Um, and and I don't, I didn't know how to react to this. How I wanted to. I thought about lashing out. I thought about having a rant. I thought about education. I thought about um, doing a demo. Here's how AI works. Here, guys, come on, look. All I'm doing is leading people to the water. You know, I'm not here to carry AI's flag. Uh, it's your, again, I think that same person who wrote about the tools said it's there for everyone to learn. And if you're choosing not to learn, it's not my job to force it down your throat. I'm not going to. I'm shoving your head in the water right now. I'm giving you examples. I'm giving you thoughts. Your head's in the water. Now drink or not. And unfortunately, the people who probably needed to hear all that tuned me out early, turned me off, or didn't even come to the show. And that saddens me. But I'm not here to teach. Again, I'm not here to teach you. I don't want to get political on a show, but it's exactly the same thing as our politics today. There's no fight that's ever been won on Facebook. We fight all the time, don't we? I mean, you see it all the time. Most of us turned that social media crap off. We got tired of it. It was killing us, stressing us all out. But nobody wins that. A Republican believes what a Republican believes, or a Democrat believes what a Democrat believes. The independents all in the middle are looking at both of them like you're both out of your minds. But the independent isn't going to change the Republican mind. The Republican isn't going to change the Democrat's mind. And insert all scenarios here. We are a hard-headed society who the people who thrive and do well are the open-minded. It's a very small niche group. You can either join us or be left behind. You can either believe wives' tales about what AI is or isn't, or you can go find out for yourself. I promise you, your hands won't melt on the keyboard when you go to ChatGPT. Give it a try. Is it going to work in the beginning? Didn't for me. I've had several posts where I've talked about my love and hate relationship with AI. You know why? Especially in the beginning? Because I was not good at it. I had not perfected my prompting. I did not understand really well what I needed to do. But for those of you who do follow me, what I do get a lot now is, holy shit, your graphics are amazing. Holy shit, how do you get that to spell correctly every single time? How do you get to kick out so much so quickly? That's what I hear. I'm not better than anybody else at these games. I'm not quicker than I can run a baseball game in 10 to 15 minutes. And I've said a million times, that's really not a good thing. That's a bad thing about me that I hate. I am so impatient. That is my number one flaw, my impatience. I don't have a lot of patience here right now for people who want to rag on AI. That is my one quality that is absolutely missing, is patience. And I go through the games too fast. I get to the end of the game and look at a box score and go, oh crap, he hit 2 home runs. Oh crap, I'm in the 7th inning. Guy's got a no-hitter. I'm just chugging through the process sometimes. I just get in, you might call it a zone, but I don't like it because I'm missing the story of the game. And I have to slowly but surely shut myself down so that I get back into the story of the game. I have 2 qualities that are really bad: competitive and impatient. And so my competitive nature says, get that game done in 10 to 15 minutes. Get it done faster than anybody else. Then on the other side over here on my shoulder is the one going, well, why'd you sit down to play this? You sat down to play this because you want the story. not because you want to finish a game in 10 to 15 minutes. Nobody's giving you a gold star for how fast you go. Hell, nobody's giving you a gold star for what story you create either. So you got to figure out which one is more important to you. I had to figure out which one was more important to me. I'm still working on that. Totally honest, still working on all that. And I think part of my I know there's a few guys out there who know that I talk to them quite often online. I'm struggling right now trying to figure out, where do I fit in this industry? I feel very roller coastery. Do I want to play Stratomatic today? Do I want to play APA today? Do I want to do this today? Do I want to do nothing? I am in I posted this the other day, and I think the play group, kidding around about the shiny new toy, SNT. Feel like I have that. I'm sitting there playing the Leap game, and what shows up my doorstep, but plays not new game, but a new arrival for me, the 1961 Continental. Ooh, got to play that. All the setup then that goes with that, because I can't just throw a game down and play it. I have to get into Digital Diamond. I have to create the teams. I have to put in all the player things, all their qualities, because I like having all that there. Then I have to go create team cards and logos and blah, 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 because that's me. That's what I do when I grab a game. And then I play it for 2 weeks right now, and then I shut it down. So I'm dealing with that. I'm just dealing with the reason I'm dealing with that. I'm trying to be self-aware here is that I'm just playing games, and I don't have a goal in mind. I don't have a story in mind. I don't have a passion in mind for something. And maybe it's just that, I think somebody said this to me the other day, the right game has not yet appeared for me. Amazing that I've spent thousands of dollars in my closet over here and in my storage unit to try to even wrap my head around the concept that the right game hasn't even been published yet for me. I'm not saying any of these games are not right. Any of you want to take and run with that, go ahead. I don't care. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is nothing is holding my attention right now. Why is that? I don't know. Don't know. I don't know why I can't go. I'm not somebody who has never done it before. I've completed 2 entire as played replays, 1986, 1977. It's a lot of freaking games to play every team. But I did that 8 to 10 years ago. Since then, I've been struggling to find that same discipline. There's the word I'm looking for. That the discipline to keep one game, one season, one idea on my desktop, on my tabletop. And that is partly because of the shiny new toy. That is partly because we have so many damn developers, and they're all putting out some amazing stuff. I got to try this. I got to go try this. I got to go try this. That makes it hard to stay disciplined. It's not about loyalty. I am not, God, this is going to come out completely wrong, but I'm going to say it the way I'm going to say it. I'm not a loyal guy to a game hobby vendor. And to those of you who are, great, good for you. You probably don't have SNT because you can concentrate. Let's just say you're an APA guy and that's all you'll buy. You can concentrate on APA and play APA, and the SNTs that happen are not part of your life. So you're focused in on your APA cards, those little red and white cards, and you're happy as you can be, and you're running through your seasons. And when that new one comes in a year later, it's Christmas for you. I'm jealous. I'm jealous you can do that. I am not mocking you. I am 1,000% jealous of you. Now, for those of you in my boat, which is Well, I like play. I like strat. I like APA. I like payoff pitch. I like on deck baseball. I like the express games from John Turnbull and Powder Blue Sports. I know I'm probably missing about 6 games and going to get a developer to yell at me because I missed them in this thing because my closet's closed and I can't quickly look over there. I replay baseball or the replay games I use. There's, Clay's games. I love Clay's games. Status Pro is another one. The Action PC games, which I used to be totally opposed to. I used to have that thought process of PC games are cheating because you can hit the freaking fast sim button. That's cheating. All that hard work I did to play out 1986 and some idiot can go on there and hit one button and be done in 10 minutes. Jealousy. But in the end, did anybody care? Really? Did anybody say, well, John's replay is so much more important than Dave's replay who hit a button? You can't, that goes back to my other rants of, if you're looking for the community to back you in certain things or lift you up or tell you how amazing what you just did was, you're not going to be a happy person in this hobby. You have to find that happiness within yourself. And I'm struggling to find the happiness in playing any tabletop game right now. I think it was Mike. Mike said to me, just play a game, man. Play a game. You'll work it out. And and other times when this has happened to me, that's exactly what got me through it. Pop a game down by the 6th inning. I was like, why was I even complaining? Why was I even bitching inside about what's wrong? Where we go? And I went right past my issues and no problem. So tried that. Literally was in about the 2nd inning and turned it off. Turned off the digital diamond, put the cards away and said, nope, I'm not feeling it. I'm trying to push through this. I don't even know what the last batter did. I'm not into this. Let me take a drink real quick because my throat's getting. Sorry. I just want to I want to wrap this up because I don't want this to be on forever. But let's get back. Let me get back on target here. Let's talk a little bit about the benefits of a developer using AI. Okay, and I did touch on some of these, and you can debate these if you want. I'm not here to debate you. I know they're true. I know if all done right, they are true statements. They're factual comments I'm about to make, but you can argue them if you wish. We get cards quicker. It's number one. We get cards quicker if they use AI. We get fewer errors. I have been very public with some errors on some of these sets that I've gotten over the last 6 months and question whether AI was involved in that company. And some of you are going to go, woohoo, what company? I want to buy from there because you're totally against AI. But guess what? They're the company right now. I'm questioning their QA ethics. How can you miss that? This. How could you miss that? How could you spell this wrong? How could you do that? Well, because you didn't use AI as a QA tool. And you put out an inferior product because of it. Now, am I saying that product I'm talking about I don't use? I'd be kidding myself. I use them all the time. You use them all the time, most of you. They just could be better. And AI doesn't even cost you anything. I mean, you can get subscriptions, $25 a month, $250. You want to go the business route, blah, blah, blah. But most of it is free. It's just not using them. Maybe because you don't know how. I don't know. And I want to add in, mistakes happen always. Okay, and they always will. But having an AI QA analyst behind you will help developers catch them earlier, have the ability to fix them earlier in their development process, and give us, again, a more quality product. I want to say that I understand some people, the fear you have. I guess I just have to quickly talk about the elephant in the room, and it's the people who have a voice in our hobby and do not like AI. And my frustration with those people, or my, let me reword that and say, my message to you when you hear them talk is understand they're talking out of fear. There's fear that creativity is being outsourced. There's fear that doesn't make the game real. It wasn't created by a human. There's fear that an inferior person has created a game and I might just actually buy it. And if you're reasonable and can think for yourself, you know, oh, that's hogwash. Every bit of everything I just said was hogwash. And when that person or persons start telling you that AI is going to ruin the hobby or your life or take your job away, those people have no experience with AI. And the little bit they might have poked their little fingers on a keyboard, did it without understanding how to use the tool. We all know how to go to Google, right? They expect it to be Google. They expect to say a three-word question, and they expect pixie dust results. They want Einstein behind everything. They want not only Einstein, they want a mind reader with it. They want them to know exactly what you're talking about in a few words. It's laziness. It's uneducated. And for those people to be out there telling our hobby that this is a danger or in some way inferior tool is irresponsible. I'm not going to put up with it. I'm going to do shows like this to counteract it. I'm going to reply on Facebook. And I'm going to tell you what a fool you are. And that may not make me very popular. And I don't give two shits. 5 years from now, all of you will go, oh, he knew. He understood. He tried to tell us. Robots weren't coming to play the game. Until that point, as long as you're still rolling the dice, as long as you're using a fast action card instead of dice, as long as you're using a digital dice roller, you're in the AI world, my friend. So stop seeing it as some horror movie. Start accepting it or trying to understand it, or get the F out of the way. Because it's coming. It's going to take over the hobby. And it's going to make the hobby 1,000 times better for all of us. Quicker cards, better cards, more creative developers. They're going to have the time to think more rather than go through the repetitive tasks they have to do. It used correctly, and there's going to be people out there going to use it wrong, and the naysayers are going to be seen, can you count? If you want to listen to those people, go ahead. You're on the wrong side of tabletop history. I'm telling you right now. But the people who want to say, okay, maybe I should go check this out. Maybe I should learn this. Maybe I should learn how to prompt write to ChatGPT or Copilot. Maybe I can improve my gaming experience. Maybe as a developer, I don't have to check all these damn potential outcomes. I can have someone else do it. And I can get out your cards faster to you. And I can make them look better. And I can spend time coming up with better rules or more creative rules. Make my game better. Spend more time using my brain and less time checking figures on a screen. That's how we all benefit. We're not having robots come in and roll our dice. That's not what's happening. You think that's what's happening? Stop watching Netflix. You're watching too many of those. This is just a tool in the toolbox, extremely powerful. With that comes misuse, misunderstanding, and unfortunately, mocking. Because people are scared and they're afraid. And how they counteract being afraid and scared is to mock. And it angers me, and it makes me sad for them and for our hobby. Again, if I lose any people over this, I don't know how to say this any other way than I don't care. I'm telling you what's going to happen. Is it my opinion? Of course it's my opinion. And you can disagree all you want. You can say AI isn't going to change us. You could say we're not going to use AI. And I'm going to ask you, my first question back to you, if you say that, tell me what AI is. And tell me where AI isn't. So that I can tell you how wrong you are. And show you factually where it is, where you think it isn't. So that you won't sound stupid to everybody else. Grow up, people. We're not 9 and 10-year-olds playing games anymore. We're adults. Technology is a part of every hobby. You have the opportunity not to use any technology in this and be just fine. I said it earlier. You're going to be, you wanted to handwritten score sheets? God, I see it all the time. God love people who do that. That's what makes them happy. Go for it. I just don't want to hear them complain. That's all I'm asking. You don't want to use Mike Ignikowski's Excel spreadsheets? Don't mock it. It makes the gameplay quicker. It records the stats. It enhances the game that he put all those out for. Baseball, basketball, hockey. Each one of those sheets enhances our game. There's lots of code behind it, what he does. And if you don't want to use that stuff, you have the right not to use it. But I have the right to use it. And I have the right to not listen to you bitch and moan about something you don't understand. I'm not cheating by using it. I'm going faster than you. Sorry. I'm going to have more complete stats than you. Sorry. I'm going to have less effort getting all that done. Sorry. But that's your choice. You made the choice, not me. I made the choice to use it. You made the choice not to. It both was there. It's not like, and thank God for guys like Mike. It's freaking free. So don't tell me how in some posts people are using AI to make money. Somebody let Mike know that. Somebody let John Turnbull know that. Why don't you go talk to Ian? How much money he's making off his sets. Not saying Ian, again, once again, asterisk here. Not saying Ian uses AI, I don't know. I think he can't help himself but to. It's part of a process embedded somewhere in his verification checking at bare minimum. But I know he also puts a shit ton of effort, creative effort, into his cards. The creative piece of this hobby is going nowhere. AI is not pushing it out. AI is lifting it up and saying, okay, very smart ST Patrick, putting out amazing games. I'll take care of the repetitive tasks. You take care of the creative piece. That's what AI does. Used correctly, that's what AI does. AI says in a year-long project that it might take ST to put out something in the past, just using ST as an example here. I have no idea if these are your time frames, just throwing it out there. If it was a year-long project in the past, maybe it can be a 6-month project now. Or maybe it's a year-long project still, but it's even better because ST was allowed to think more about what he wanted to put out and spend less time doing the repetitive tasks. So with all that, if you're still on that train of AI is in any way harming this sport, or is in any way a bad guy, or is in any way going to harm our hobby, I said sport, I meant hobby, I can't help you anymore. You're just hard-headed. You're just not open-minded. You just don't want to be you don't want to be educated. You want things the old way. So go have it. Go grab your pen and pencil, paper and pencil, and go write your box scores. But don't tell the developers, as I saw in a post, you won't buy from anybody who uses AI. Bull fucking shit. You buy from people who use AI every day in your life. So all of a sudden you're going to draw a line at cards and dice. Boy, you're something. Give me a break. These guys should be very, very, very persuaded and comfortable in using every tool in the toolbox available to them to give us a better product, more efficient product, and a quicker product. And if they don't know how to use it and it somehow damages their game, that's on them. They shouldn't use it in the toolbox. Do the way they've been doing it. We'll get their product when we get their product. It's still going to be good. I'm not saying every developer has to do this. I'm saying every developer should be comfortable using it and not being threatened by our hobby to say, if you use it, I won't buy you. Get the hell out of the hobby. That's what I have to say to you. That's just wrong. You know, that's as wrong as saying if you have a black developer, they're African American, I'm not buying from you. That's what we said 40 years ago, 50 years ago in this country. It sounds stupid now, right? Well, you're that damn stupid now. It's not a person. It's a computer tool that you're venting on and saying you won't buy from somebody because you don't understand it. You think it for some reason it becomes unethical. Give me a break. I get the fears. I get the misinformation. And like anything else, you tell me how version 1.0 and anything you've ever had in your life was better than version 20. You tell me how you didn't look back on version 1 of something when it's at version 20 and tell me you're not laughing at version 1. Look at how it spelled that. Look at what it did here when I prompted it to do this. And now look at what it does. Your expectations need to be tabled, especially when you don't know how to use it. Again, if I'm passionate about this, which I know I am, I know it's coming out. It's my life. It's what I do for work. I know how this stuff works. I know what the attitudes in the business community are, positive and negative. I watch the people who are positive about it excel beyond their dreams. And I watch the negative people wonder why their profits are falling, wonder why they can't keep up with their competition. How in the world is that EMR getting out build after build after build after build version-wise successfully, and we can't get out one a year? There's a very good reason. If you don't know it yet, you haven't been listening to a damn thing I've said on this podcast. So I'm going to close with I'm not done ranting about this. This isn't some private little toy that I like to play with. It's my freaking life. It's how I feed my kids and wife, children, grandchildren. Know how it works. And if you don't use it. If you don't plan to train on it. Don't play with it. I disagree with ST. Do not open it. Do not go use it. If you're not going to put in the effort. Because you're going to get shitty results and then you're going to blame AI. How about the person who wrote, what's the best C&D game out there? I got some stupid game as their answer. Actually, what you got was a factually correct answer, even though you used the word good, which you never use in a prompt, showing your uneducated ability with AI. The answer that you got was about the most popular and bought game in Europe, outselling United States games, and has been used longer than United States games. But you think it's funny. You think AI was wrong because AI didn't answer it the way you thought it should answer it. But you gave it a shitty prompt. You got what you consider to be a shitty answer. And then you want to chuckle at AI. No, you're not going to chuckle at my fucking job when you don't know how to do it. Get the hell out. Take it off your computer. Take it off your mouth. Get those words out of your mouth, as Will Smith once said. Get it out. You don't know how to use it. You don't want to use it. You don't know how to use it. And you have no plans to learn it. So get out of there. You're in a place you don't belong. It's too big for you. Get out. Don't talk about it. Don't talk negatively about it. You don't know damn shit what you're talking about. And every time you open your mouth about it, you sound like a fucking idiot. So stop. Walk away. And let the big boys handle ChatGPT and Copilot. Let our developers utilize it if they so choose. Get us a better product, a faster product. And as Jack Nicholson once said, just say thank you.